Greetings, programs. It's I, the OGGM, and I want to apologize. I made a mistake this morning when I talked about the free thing on D&D Beyond Wizards. I said you had to pay for it, but nope, you don't. Apparently, I have been informed that it is, in fact, actually free. Might be time to shave. You just have to go on to D&D Beyond if you have it, and it's there, bam. Or you have to just go to the Wizards site and register, and it's there, bam. All the new information from the D&D Compendium for spell jammery stuff is up. So I apologize, I made a mistake, and I like to make sure that if I do make mistakes that are brought to my attention, I fix them. So, if you were not around and never got a chance to see what the Monstrous Companion actually looked like, it was basically this. A 3-ring binder. That came with all the stats for monsters. Each one was a 3-ring bound thing. The quality of the printed material was, I guess you would call it cardboard, but not really. I mean, it was sort of a upgraded paper / tougher than paper, but not 100% cardboard. So cheap cardboard, I don't know. It was designed to survive a 3-ring binder. So, you know, it wouldn't rip as easily as, say, a piece of paper. So you initially got a chunk of monsters in it. You could take them out and put them in whatever order you wanted. Stuff like that. And then there were additional expansions you could buy for it. And put in the 3-ring binder. Eventually, I think they made a second and third 3-ring binder because there was a lot of them. I remember at least 2 3-ring binders that were about this thick. And each one was white with a picture of sort of the hodgepodge of the monsters on it. So, like the one they're advertising now for Spelljammer's got a undead-looking thing and a tentacle-looking thing and an other-looking thing, you know. And it was sort of just the 3 or 4 things that they thought would really catch your eye and sort of grab the feel of the theme of whatever that expansion was. So it started with the generic, everyday Monster Manual stuff. And then it would work into, each expansion would work into like, oh, here are the monsters of the Forgotten Realms. Here are the monsters of Ravenloft. Here are the monsters of the Elemental Plane. Here are the monsters of this specific setting. Some of the expansion ones were pretty thick, and other of them was maybe 5-10 monsters. The prices were variable, but usually ran around anywhere from $12 to $20. And then editions changed, and things happened, magic, and it went away. You can still find them. If you look, they're not that hard to find if you're actually invest the energy to looking for them. Obviously, they're not out there in print anymore, but I don't think there was a big rush to buy them once they stopped producing them. Support me, Pepsi. I will sell out. So, yeah. And now they're trying to redo it. At least they're calling it the Monstrous Companion, and it's digital, so obviously it's not a 3-ring binder. And if you wanted to have physical copies, you would have to print it out, and then you could 3-ring bind them, or you could do what I do and use these things. If you don't have these things and you're a game master, these little 3-ring binder pockets, it makes just my life so much easier as a game master and a player. These are genius. So I guess that's what you would have to do if you wanted it to think. I don't know why they chose that name other than nostalgia. Or to separate it from the Monster Manual for some reason that probably just nostalgia, or just to be clever, or just to tap some memory that's the 4 or 5 people who actually remember the Monstrous Companion will be going, oh yeah, the Monstrous Companion, I remember that. It was a very clever idea. I can't think of a lot of other game companies that followed it. I think there was a comic book company, was it DC or Marvel, that tried to do it with their guide to their characters' things. I remember there was one game company who made their stuff all 3-ring bindered. games so that you could put them in a 3-ring binder, even though they were printed out as a normal game. Was it Blackbird was it BTC? BTR games? I don't remember. I just remember that you had 3-ring bound and you could put them in a binder, which I guess would be a clever way of keeping them all together. It's a clever idea. It's unique. It's different. It's interesting. I don't know if it would make it more expensive or less expensive to revisit it. Obviously, they didn't continue it, so I would guess it's more expensive. But yeah, 3-ring binder with everything in sort of that, decent quasi cardboard cardstock, I think that's what it's called. Cardstock, so it doesn't rip and you can take it around. You could put it in whatever order you wanted. It didn't have to be alphabetical. It could be, okay, just, buy the monsters you think you were going to use the most in your adventure, and then you could move them, or you could only take the ones you wanted, and you wouldn't have to take the 500 other pages. Well, I'm only going to use 4 monsters tonight. I don't need 500 pages of information. So, and 3-ring binder. Who doesn't love 3-ring binders? Yeah. So I'll post a picture of what it looks like, obviously, down below, and a link to any information I can find of the old Monstrous Companions if you want to take a look. I don't know. Do you think if they did something like that again, it would have wheels? Would people run out and buy it? Would it be more cost effective to do it that way as opposed to the way they're doing it now, or the less cost effective? I don't know. I think making cardstock is probably more expensive than just making regular paper, I would assume. And the 3-ring binder machine, well, you'd have to find one, and then run it the hundreds of thousands of times to make the multiple copies. So, yeah, it might be less cost effective to do it that way than just do the way they do the books bound now. And, of course, it's even more cost effective to just make it digital, because then you don't have to print anything out. So what do you know? I don't know. Do you think it would still have wheels today? Would you go and buy it if they did this as a monster manual / anything source book wise? I think it's clever, but I don't know if it has the wherewithal to be a thing other than just unique and clever and different and sort of gimmicky. But it was fun at the time. I had like a couple of them. So I don't know. I don't know if it would have a market. What do you think? Anyways, I apologize that I made a mistake. And moving on to our next topic, I am the OGGM. If you appreciate this content, let me know. Help me hit 1,000 subs. And I'll talk to you later. See ya.